Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for having me in this Global Town Hall 2021. I am Faril Fitrinatania Punjara as the Health Ambassador for Indonesia, and in here I'm going to talk about the challenge of vaccinating the global population. I remember speaking about the need for stronger international cooperation against COVID-19 at this global town hall last year. Since then, something has changed, but some have not. We now have a powerful weapon to defeat COVID-19. 24 COVID-19 vaccines have been approved for use, and around 7.9 billion shots have been administered globally. And see the result? The result is apparent. Global economy is showing signs of life and is projected to grow 5.9% in 2021 and 4.9% in 2022. Borders are reopening and international travel has gradually resumed. In-person meetings have begun to take place, including recent G20 and some COP meetings. Image of crowded football stadiums and concerts gives us hope that life will soon return to normal. However, let us be clear. Now we are still in the pandemic. We have recorded nearly 260 million cases globally and 5.2 million deaths due to COVID-19. These figures are 4 to 5 times higher than they were a year ago. The WHO noted an increasing trend in global weekly cases and surge in the America and Europe. A number of factors contribute to prolonging the pandemic, such as inconsistent public health measures and hasty reopening. But the WHO made it clear that the pandemic persists in large part because inequitable access to tools persists. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, from the very beginning, Indonesia has called for fair and equitable distribution of vaccines. Indonesian President has voiced his concern in bilateral, regional, and multilateral forums. I also co-chair COVAX AMC engagement group established to facilitate access to vaccine for 92 countries. We knew vaccine would be scarce, and scarce are goods often sold to the highest bidder only. And this is exactly what is happening right now. 64.99% of people in high-income countries have been vaccinated with at least one dose, compared to 6.49% in low-income countries. More than 80% of vaccines have gone to G20 countries compared to 0.4% to low-income countries. Every day, there are 6 times more boosters administered globally than primary dose in low-income countries. 56 countries did not meet the WHO target to vaccinate 10% of their population by September 2021. Nearly 80 countries may not reach 40% vaccination target by this year end. All the while, at least 100 million doses could go unused and expire in G7 countries in 2021. This number of wasted doses could rise to 800 million by mid-2022. If all the shots administered globally so far were distributed equitably, we would have reached our 40% target in every country by now. Instead, Many countries rely on COVAX facility as the only means to get vaccines. COVAX has shipped over 507 million doses, but COVAX does not produce vaccine, and it has already fallen short of its target to deliver 2 billion doses this year. We still need 550 million shots to meet the WHO 40% vaccination target in every country. Global production now stands at nearly 1.5 billion doses per month. So, there is actually sufficient vaccine from a supply perspective. But will they be distributed equitably this time around? Colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, challenge to vaccinate the world do not stop here. We must get the shots into as many arms as possible. And this is no simple task. There are misinformation and hoaxes to counter as they contributed to vaccine hesitancy. Not all countries are prepared to receive big number of doses, let alone have a national strategy to distribute them. On average, low-income countries have to increase their health spending by 56.9% to cover costs vaccinating 70% of their population, compared to 0.8% for high-income countries. We also have considered the issue of vaccine discrimination. Some countries are denying entry to people with vaccines that have the WHO emergency use listing but has not been approved by their own regulators. Colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, in the short run, I have a few suggestions to make. First, ensure all countries can meet the WHO vaccination target. This requires a commitment to equity. All pledges of dose sharing must be fulfilled immediately. Wealthier countries with an oversupply of doses or with high vaccination coverage should consider sharing their doses. Vaccine manufacturers also need to start allocating more doses to COVAX. Second, scale up global vaccine production. Diversification of vaccine manufacturing to developing countries would contribute to such effort. This requires strengthening of necessary infrastructures, research centers, storage facilities, and human resources. Export restriction on raw material must end. Technology transfer should be facilitated. Third, strengthen the absorption capacity of developing countries. Many require assistance to accelerate the pace of vaccination. International financial institutions may provide much needed financing. At the same time, engagement with WHO country office must be intensified to design effective vaccination strategy. Then, look at what should we do in the longer run. In the longer run, we must build on our experience in dealing with COVID-19 and two big priorities for us now. Build a stronger national health infrastructure. This means investing a resilient healthcare system and make it more affordable for everyone. This also means strengthening our health industries, scaling up their production and distribution capacity. International cooperation in vaccine research and development must be intensified, including with Gavi and CEPI. Strengthen global health governance. Colleagues, the WHO is only as strong as we make it to be. Its role and legitimacy remain irreplaceable in coordinating global health action. The discussion on a new pandemic treaty will soon begin, and I hope all countries could really behind this initiative. We also need a new health financing mechanism for developing and least developed countries. G20 has taken up this issue and modalities for such mechanism is now being deliberated. And lastly, we need a permanent mechanism to improve equitable access to medical solutions. And going forward, SETA, including COVAX, could be adjusted for such purposes. Including COVAX could be adjusted for such purposes. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, now this is the time for action. We have enough tools at our disposal to end this pandemic, including vaccines, but tools are just tools if not used properly. And to make them work, we need solidarity. We need political commitment from all countries. Once again, from all countries. Only then we can recover together and recover stronger from this pandemic. That's all. Thank you very much for your attention.